Welcome to Spotlight On, the show where celebrities shine their spotlight on a cause that's very dear to them, and we introduce you to an amazing organization within that cause. They say home is where the heart is, and our next guest definitely has a knowledge of homes, but today we're going to talk about his heart. Very honored to welcome our next guest, Ryan Serhant. Hi, Ryan. How are you?
I'm good.
Thanks for being here.
Well, thank you for helping me kind of shine a light on what we're doing today. It's awesome.
Definitely. So you are no stranger to the spotlight at all. Tell me a little bit about your experience within the spotlight and behind the spotlight.
Oh, man. Well, first, in your little introduction, it's so weird when people say celebrity because I do not think of myself that way. I'm very much a real estate broker, and there happen to be cameras that follow me around as I sell real estate. But the show, $1 Million Listing New York, is helpful to me in the sense that it enables me to open more doors. So one, for business, obviously, that's why I did it, but to be able to shine up light on causes that I feel very strongly about, that as just a regular person without this huge media marketing machine behind me, it's more difficult, right? That I'm just going out to my personal network, I'm pounding the pavement, but even through social media, through you, right, to be able to kind of bring light to causes to the masses is what being in the spotlight has done the most for me, in my mind anyway. There are people who like yell at me on the street and
you have
do
quite
some
a
craziness.
following.
Yeah.
You definitely have some fans in the show.
But
It's been around for a while now, and there's definitely people.
It's like, yo, you're the guy, the real estate guy.
You're that guy.
I'm like, I am. Exactly, which is good for business because I am a real estate guy.
Exactly.
Right? Imagine if you sold light bulbs or something, and everyone on the street was like, "You're the light bulb guy."
Right.
That's exactly what you want.
That's definitely what you want.
Right.
Yeah. So you're known for that, but you've had some experience as well within the spotlight, within the camera. You were on As the World Turns.
Yes.
I was a fan of As the World Turns, Lucinda
What?
and Margot and Tom. I remember all the characters. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So how, I know you've talked a little bit about your transition into real estate, but I want to know.
Lucinda killed me, by the way.
Lucinda did kill you. I'm sorry about that. I apologize. Lucinda
Yeah,
Walsh.
I don't know why I got to bring that up right now.
I'm
We're
sorry.
here for a cause, but
I
it's all right.
I know.
It's all right.
How did that experience prepare you for this career?
Oh man, I mean, in part we could get to this afterwards, but the acting and arts and everything. It's probably the best preparation I could have ever had for being a real estate broker. I know a lot of real estate agents that are, very, very, very book smart, and they're very analytical and geniuses, and they don't do that well because at the end of the day, it's all sales, right? It's all sales. It's a little bit of math. It's a little bit of knowledge. It's what you know and who you know, but it's sales. It's connecting people. It's being excited, and it's being able to, as a person with a career, improvise on a daily basis and to have an endurance. So, As the World Turns prepared me for, I guess, $1 Million Listing because it was in front of the camera all day, every day, kind of adapting to different situations. And so, getting on the show was much easier for me because I've been in the camera before. And so when they sat me down, I didn't get clammy and nervous. It's kind of like, all right, whatever. It's one tiny little camera. You have no idea what I've been through. Right? Lucinda, she killed me. But the acting business in general in New York, every single day you get rejected nonstop. And it's not just like, oh, your acting isn't good. It's like, you're not tall enough. We need someone taller. We also don't like your face. And your right arm is like too long, and you have gray hair. So it's all personal. And so I did 2 years of being personally destroyed, where a few things work out. But then I got into real estate, and you have rejection, but it's on the business side, which is far easier. So it's not like people say, I don't want to buy this because I don't like the way you look, right? It's like, I don't want to buy this because I don't think the deal works, which for me is like, okay, let's go find something else. But you have a lot of real estate agents who take that to heart and get really, really personal about it and think the rejection is personal. But so for me, I was able to overcome it really, really, really quickly.
Interesting. So that personal rejection doesn't get to you as much. It's more part of the job, I guess.
Right, well, because I think I've already been through rejection boot camp, whereas most agents
As an actor.
haven't, right? I think a lot of people, especially in today's day and age, young people getting out of school, they like want everything. It's like, well, how much am I going to make? That's the one thing people come to me and ask me when they want a job or they want to get into real estate. They're like, well, how much am I going to make? How much am I going to make tomorrow? How much am I going to make in a year? I'm like, I don't know how much you're going to work.
Going to work.
Exactly.
Right.
Who do you know? What are you going to do? And it's frustrating. So I think, but it also comes down to education, the way people are raised. So for me, if I have any effect on any type of cause out there, it always starts young. So I work with as many kids as I physically can within schedule and my physical ability to be in many places at once.
Sure.
But to start young, to start with kids, to kind of show them what the world is like, whether it's through art or just through sports or through general education or like after school programs, so that they grow up to have a better understanding of how they are going to be personally successful, which I think a lot of kids don't have.
That's true. That's true. Let's talk about you as a child a little bit. Were you drawn
No.
to yes. Let's talk. Were you drawn to graphics and images? Were you more of a numbers guy? What was your earliest memory as it relates to your career?
My earliest memory was not being a numbers guy.
No?
No. My whole family's in finance. Everyone is in finance. My brothers work at banks. Everyone's in finance, and it just wasn't for me. And so like the reason we're here today, and the reason I participate in Walk of Art Kids and try to get art and kids as involved in my business as possible, is because I was incredibly fortunate to have such a loving family to allow me to do the stuff that I wanted to do, which was paint, which was draw, which was doodle for
So you were really artistic
a total
as a child.
summer. Yeah, and then I would put on performances in front of my family and get my friends together and make short little movies. And my mom would be the DP, right? She would be filming it. My little brother would star in everything that I did. And that's just what made me happy, and I think they saw that I had a passion for that, and so they said, listen, maybe he might not become Steven Spielberg or Brad Pitt or Picasso, but if it's what makes him happy, then it's what's going to get him excited every moment that he wakes up. So let's feed that, right, in a smart way. And so I was able to have that as a kid, and I think that really, really aided my transition into the working world after school and being in New York, which is a tough city, and having a real job, right? Because I kind of go after what I'm passionate about every single day. And I think kids that don't have that from a very, very early age are what am I going to say? They're disadvantaged, right? And it's not just where they live and where they come from, what their home situation is like, but not being able to have a creative outlet, I think will not hurt them today. It's going to hurt them when they're 21. Which is going to hurt them when they're 25, which is going to hurt them when they're 40. And so creating better adults of tomorrow, I really do feel, and it's really, really strongly, it starts with young kids through a creative outlet and helping them find their passion. And maybe they'll say, dude, I hate art. You know what I like? I like doing division and multiplication, right? Which is great, because now you just figured it out.
So we have a quote in common, actually, a favorite quote I read that
do we?
Yeah, luck equals preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah.
You're very involved in philanthropy and helping out and giving back. What advice and what quote would you give to budding philanthropists?
To budding philanthropists, I would say, the other quote that I go by is, I'd rather regret the things I did than the things I never tried, right? So that's kind of like my mantra, because listen, so I like...
Mark Twain, is that Mark Twain? He has a similar quote.
He has a similar quote.
Great minds think alike.
Right, exactly. I think, I played every single sport just to make sure that if I liked it or I didn't like it, because you never know. You have one life to live. My biggest fear is wasted potential. So if I have the ability to try something, I might as well just do it. Now, within reason, right?
Sure.
Hard drugs are probably a bad thing for me.
Probably not a
But
good
I kind of
idea.
have an idea. But when I graduated college, I said, you know what? It's really, really scary to come to New York with no money and no job and be an actor. But I'd rather regret what I did there than never having tried it, because you never know. So I did that, and then the soap happened, and okay, and then someone was like, "Do you want to be a hand model?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" And so I was a hand model for almost 2 years. Then someone was like, "Do you want to?"
2 years?
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, for AT&T, I held phones for a
Did
very
you
long
have
time.
to wear
gloves and
You did?
I should be an investor in Lubriderm, but I am not.
Let's see.
They're not as nice now. They're not as
look
nice
pretty
now.
nice,
No,
yeah.
now these are working man hands via a lot of cell phone usage.
Yeah, exactly.
And then after that, I got into real estate because a friend said, "Hey, you should do something else. Do you want to get into real estate? It's so great. It's awesome." I was like, Sure, why
Did
not?
you buy that friend dinner, I hope?
I
you
have
thanked that friend?
multiple times.
Yeah, I'm
I
sure.
then hired him to work for me.
Oh, there you go.
2 years after, and now he has a pretty sweet gig. So yeah.
There you go.
So it's like when a lot of people say they want to be charitable or they want to be more, philanthropic, or they wish they could do this for kids, or they wish they could do that. It's like, so just do it. Like,
Yes.
what's wrong with you? Just do it. And it's not hard, and it just takes time, and then people don't want to do it. And so those people who just say it, those people are not people for me. But if you do want to help, find something simple, find something local, make a difference. We are doing, just like we did with Walk of Our Kids, right? I didn't just...
Which is the organization you're spotlighting
Right, exactly.
today.
So I didn't just, write a check and say, oh, hey, here, I'm philanthropic. I incorporated it with my work, right, my business. I've got 2 buildings that we're building on 13th Street, so I brought them all there to the opening event, teamed them up with professional artists who were, doing graffiti walls that we wanted to do on the existing
So
buildings.
cool. It was
and so
really
it was
cool.
a good experience for them. It was a good experience to give, and it was great for us and for the buildings, and people were into it. And so there's a lot of different ways you can do it.
So your cause today that you're spotlighting is arts education and creativity within children. You talked a little bit about why that's important. Do you have anything to add about why you think that cause is so important?
Oh man, I mean, we could talk for like 10 years if you want to.
It's true.
I just take from personal experience and knowing how much it helped me to, I don't know, like pat myself on the back about saying now I'm a nice adult. But I think anything you can do for kids through, whether it's just like brother and sister programs, right, and helping them figure out what they're going to do during their downtime when they're not in school, because a lot of kids have 2 parents that work or 1 parent that works. They've got brothers and sisters that are doing their own thing, and then you have a little kid who's sitting at home, and what's he going to do? What's he going to do? He's going to find friends, and they're going to do things maybe they shouldn't do. So to connect them to a creative outlet like art that they could do with friends. I'm not talking like art, go do art history and study old paintings. That's not for kids for today. It's let's get some spray paints and let's go out on the sidewalk and let's have some fun for 2 hours. That's fun for 2 hours where they did something that is using their brain, that is taking a creative outlet that they wouldn't have done otherwise. So anything I can do to help that will create better adults of tomorrow through a creative outlet is something that I'm very, very passionate about. And have you seen that movie Whiplash? Yeah. So you'll never know who the next great artist in the world is going to be unless you give that kid the opportunity to be great. And what I think, the greatest sadness of the world is that people, it's like wasted potential, right? If you're somebody young, you didn't ask to be here. You weren't like born and you were like, thanks so much, I put in my dues to be born. No, you are here because 2 other people wanted you to be here or not, right? And now it's up to everybody else to help you see what your full potential is going to be. And I think a lot of that comes through arts and comes through our support and our involvement. And not seeing that is like, I don't know, totally mind-boggling to me.
Definitely. Well, you have chosen to spotlight Walk of Art Kids.
Yeah.
And we are here today with Walk of Art Kids. There you go.
Yeah.
So we are going to spotlight, Ryan is spotlighting Walk of Art Kids, and we'll be right back with Ryan Serhant.
I can mash potatoes. I can mash potatoes. I can do the twist. I can do the twist. Well, tell me, baby. Tell me, baby. Do you like it like this? Do you like it like this? Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Oh, we're freezing. Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive.
Oh, that's a weird one for me.
Take it easy, take it easy. A little bit softer now, 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 a little bit louder 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 now. Hey,
Can make it there, I'll make it anywhere
York, New York.
Welcome back to Spotlight On. Celebrities are shining their spotlight on causes that mean something to them, and we're introducing you to amazing nonprofit organizations within that cause. Ryan Serhant has chosen to spotlight the cause of arts education and creativity within children and the amazing organization Walk of Art Kids, and we have the founder of Walk of Art Kids, Jelani Buckner. I want to make sure I said it correctly. Great to see you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate it. We were just talking about the cause and why the cause is important, and Ryan has chosen to spotlight your amazing organization. Can you tell us a little bit about Walk of Art Kids?
So Walk of Art Kids basically it's a arts and education organization with a two-pronged approach. What we do is we reach out to artists who are into inspiring kids, and also we engage local youth in the low-income neighborhoods who don't really have access to our programs in their schools and neighborhoods. So basically we grab those kids and we do workshops with them, and we pair them with artists and kids and do workshops together.
That's great. How did you become involved with the organization? How did you decide to start the organization?
Well, the idea came about from in my childhood. My uncle was an artist, and what happened is every Saturday morning he'd sit my cousins and I down and teach us art techniques such as drawing, shading, painting. And from then, we use those techniques to start thinking creatively. So that's how the idea formed. And what we do now is kind of in the same vein. Every Saturday, we get kids together and do workshops and recruit artists to do different techniques and show these kids a lot of different techniques through a workshop environment.
So it's just like we were talking about, how it starts in your childhood, and it started with your childhood, and now you're helping other children and
Right.
teenagers learn about art and have exposure to art and meet these
Absolutely.
amazing artists. How do you find the artists?
Well, we reach out to a number of artists through social media, and a lot of artists start reaching out to us after the popularity has grown. And also, we do our workshops out of a paint shop street art gallery. So a lot of the artists that come through here are connected with us, and they see what's going on, and they'd like to reach out and see how they can be involved.
That's great. Talk a little bit about the project that you guys did together, 13th Street, you said, correct? Talk a little bit about that and what that meant to the organization.
Oh, that was huge. That was amazing. So Ryan's people reached out to us and said they'd like for us to be involved and have the youth in our workshops come down and witness this amazing display of art, which was basically two professional street artists who designed the facades of the buildings. And they put together an amazing show, and we had our kids, watch these artists and talk with the artists and engage with the artists, and it was just an amazing thing. And the fact that Ryan was able to reach out to us and kind of make us visible to his audience as well was just an amazing, amazing thing. So we met there, and from then on, it's just been great.
And how was that for you? Was that as rewarding for you to see all the kids involved? And
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was probably it was the best thing we've ever done on the show, that's for sure. And really opened up my mind to, what we can do what I can do in my business with buildings, with, real estate, and incorporating you guys, incorporating other groups that, that I now see is totally feasible. And it was awesome just to see the kids there, and they were like so intense on the guys and doing the garages and everything.
Really?
It's two buildings that are kind of side by side that we're then gonna eventually tear down and build condos for. But in the meantime, they're gonna stay there. And so we had two very, very famous street artists tag each building with kind of their own idea of what the East Village meant to them, the East Village and growth. And they did it for 3 days straight, and it culminated in this big event where we invited hundreds of people. We shut down 13th Street, and it was filmed for $1 Million Listing, which was awesome. Which was great because now your source and everything, and Walk of Art Kids is going to be out there to the whole world, and the show's watched by millions of people, and every little bit counts.
Right.
And what about that message that was delivered, having their incorporation and their support?
Oh, it was huge. Like you said, being able to present our organization to a large audience. I mean, obviously, we're a young, budding organization amongst a sea of larger, well-established art organizations. And for us to kind of get that platform from the show, it was huge. I mean, from that exposure alone, we've gotten lots of people to reach out to us, and people following us on social media, and it's just been a good look for us.
Wonderful.
So we definitely appreciate it, and we were just very honored that we could have that platform to kind of shine a light on what we're doing as an organization.
Definitely. Talk a little bit about the kids that are involved. Have you seen any positive changes? Has it impacted the children?
Oh yes, I've seen several positive changes, many of which I can name, but some of the more dear experiences that I've seen has been with parents who've reached out to me where we deal with a lot of children who are at-risk youth. In some situations where, in lower income neighborhoods, kids can fall to all different types of situations that aren't really good for them. But in one particular situation, there was a student who the parent reached out to me and told me, he wasn't doing so well in school, and after he started coming to your workshops, midway, his grades started to improve, and he really showed passion in his creativity. So, I mean, little small examples like that has given us the motivation to keep on going, and really recruiting at-risk youth who have passion in art.
Definitely. That's a great story. Isn't that awesome? How it's impacting the kids.
It's important to talk about, I think, too, because people don't think that far ahead. Everyone is so short-minded, so they think, okay, so I'm gonna help kids paint and draw, great. But it's not. That's not it. If you think that way, then I have no idea how you get out of bed every day. You're helping kids like here, and what we're doing is really like the 5-yard line.
Right,
And
it's the long-term
it's
plan.
what happens. It opens up their brain. It gets them excited every day to wake up, and they are looking forward to Saturday mornings, to go with you guys because they've been practicing and they've been drawing at night when they're supposed to be sleeping.
Right.
To kind of show you what they've been working on, and that gets them excited. And they go to school with that same passion. It's like in their blood, and then they're doing better at school. They're more, open. They become more socially, active, and so it changes everything. And so just from a little bit of help here, which is really just a little bit, you're helping kids become totally different people 10, 15, 20, 50 years down the line. And that's what people have to think about. It's not just, oh, hey, we're donate so that they can have more crayons to play with. That's completely the opposite of the mission.
That is true. That's definitely true. And you brought up a great point, actually, because we were talking about how people can get involved in different causes that they care about. So you can donate, you can share, you can give supplies, you can give services, and you can give your time. Is that something that the Walk of Art needs?
Absolutely. Since I started Walk of Art, I've had to wear many hats. I'm a grant writer. I'm a graphic designer, web designer. I'm a gopher for coffee for myself and the rest of the staff members. So staff members are very important in addition to funding as well. Funding is very important. And space. We're also looking for space as well to kind of have a safe place and environment for kids to go. Once, they do their art, and a lot of kids don't have a safe place after school. There are limited amounts of art programs in schools, so if we were to have a place where we can bring them, in addition to the gallery spaces, because right now, ideally, we use gallery spaces and rent out your gallery spaces to run our workshops out of, but we would ideally like a space, volunteers, and funding would help a lot.
Is that something? What are the long-term plans for Walk of Art Kids?
Oh, well, the long-term plan is to, right now we have programs running out of 4 schools throughout New York City, and we'd like to, by the end of the year, be in 10 schools. So that's a short-term plan, but the long-term plan is to be in about 5 major cities within the next 5 years.
Yeah.
We actually launched Walk of Art LA as of last month. So September, we will be starting with a whole program in LA. So hopefully in about five years, we could have 5 major cities.
Fantastic.
Thank
awesome.
Yeah, 5 years. Let's shorten it.
Yeah, let's shorten
think,
it.
Let's think
It's
big,
3
right?
rows, 3 years.
3 years,
Yeah.
definitely. Definitely. Well, tell everyone how they can find Walk of Art and how they can get involved.
You can find Walk of Art on social media, Walk of Art, at Walk of Art and at Walk of Art Kids. Also, our website is woakids.org, and you can sign up to volunteer. You can register your kids on our website and look and see some of the positive changes and things that we've been doing.
That's great. That's great.
Awesome. Yeah, listen, I'm overwhelmed every time I get to do this. This is way better than showing apartments. Yeah, this is
That's
great.
true.
Everything we can do to continue to spread the word, and even if it's just one person that then goes to your site that donates a little bit of time or a little bit of money. I mean, what's nice that the art supplies aren't that expensive. I mean,
Exactly.
$100 gets you a lot.
Right.
$200, $1,000, and every little bit counts, and that supports more time for these kids to be creative and have an outlet which pulls kids off the streets, which makes them excited to go to school. Everything we've been talking about. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all awesome.
No, it definitely is.
I'm glad you mentioned the art supplies because we do have a Donors Choose website, which is kind of a crowdfunding site where you can actually sign up under Walk of Art Kids. Go there and we have supplies, art supplies checked off where you can see exactly what you'd like to donate. Hey, I'd like to donate these markers, or I'd like to donate some drawing pads.
Perfect. That's great.
So, right, it kind of, you can see where your money goes there in that sense.
So where do you go? You go to DonorChoose.
DonorsChoose.org, and our organization, of course, is Walk of Art Kids.
Awesome. Go there.
Go
Please.
there.
Now.
You have
Couldn't
to.
make
away.
it easier,
Click
right?
away.
It's so
Yes.
easy. No, that's great. That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much
Thank you for
being
having
here.
me.
Really appreciate it.
And thank you.
Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Well, of course, the purpose of Spotlight On is for you to look inside yourself and get involved with a cause that really speaks to you and an amazing organization. And if this speaks to you, and I hope it has, we definitely have given you many options to get involved. So make sure you check out the website, you check out the Donors Choose, and thank you so much, Ryan, for being here. Check out $1 Million Listing on Bravo as well. And how can people find you?
Everywhere.
Exactly.
Everywhere. Website is ryanserhant.com, and on social media it's at Ryan Serhant. Everywhere.
Everywhere. And art is everywhere. So make sure you get
That's right.
involved. And as always, we leave you with the question, what cause do you shine your spotlight on? Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.